So one by one, we will go with the presentation. Okay. So who will go first? Who will break the ice? कोण पहिल्यांदा प्रेझेंटेशन देईल? रेज युअर हँड्स. हात वर करा म्हणजे मला लक्षात येईल. No one? मनानं तयारी पाहिजे सर. I'll break the ice. I will be the first presenter. Hello. So I have the list of the students who will deal with. So Gitanjali, should we start with you? You are going to speak on what I should say, biography. Gitanjali, are you listening me?
Okay, sir.
So should we start with your presentation?
Biography. The biography as an art.
एक मिनिट. गीतांजली, काय करायचं, तुमचं प्रेझेंटेशन होईपर्यंत व्हिडिओ ऑन ठेवा. कारण गीतांजलीच बोलतायत का गीतांजलीच्या नावाखाली दुसरंच कोणी बोलतंय आपल्याला लक्षात आलं पाहिजे. बरोबर आहे ना? बिकॉज इट इज युअर एक्झामिनेशन रेकॉर्ड. म्हणून तोच विद्यार्थी होता हे आपल्याला परीक्षा विभागात आहे ना द्यावं लागतं. त्या उद्देशानं तुमचं प्रेझेंटेशन होईपर्यंत युअर कॅमेरा शुड बी ऑन. तुमचं प्रेझेंटेशन झाल्यानंतर यू कॅन स्विच ऑफ युअर कॅमेरा. Okay, this is the rule for all the students. So Gitanjali, are you ready now?
Okay, sir.
Please.
The biography as an art form has developed comparatively recently for classical times. We have lives of Caesars by Suetonius and Plutarch's lives, short accounts written in pairs, comparing and contrasting a famous Greek and a famous Roman, but modern biography has no really close resemblance to such odd notes and gossips. Gossips as one finds the brief life to the 17th century antiquarian John continued the art of biography to have fallen on evil times in England. The Oxford Dictionary defines biography seems to have fallen in being record the life of one individual, and as Thomas Carlyle said, history is the essence of countless biographies. The biographer must strive for truth and portray.
Please continue, Gitanjali.
As Thomas Carlyle said, history is the essence of countless biographers. The biographer must have a truth, truth and a perfect portrayal of his subject. झालं sir.
Finished?
हा.
Okay, very nice, Gitanjali. Now we will go with the another student. Okay. Who is next? Who would like to go for the presentation? पुढचं प्रेझेंटेशन कोण देईल? Gitanjali has Sakshi. Will you talk on autobiography?
Yes, sir.
हा. साक्षी, तुमचं प्रेझेंटेशन चालू असेपर्यंत फक्त कॅमेरा ऑन ठेवा, म्हणजे लक्षात घ्यावं की आम्हाला साक्षीच बोलत आहे ना. आणि मग तुमचं प्रेझेंटेशन झाल्यानंतर यू कॅन स्विच ऑफ द कॅमेरा.
Okay, sir. Good morning, everyone. My name is Kamble Sakshi. Today, my presentation for seminar and I have take to topic is autobiography. So I hope everyone listen to carefully. Autobiography for a Greek write also informed called on autobio is a self-written account of one's life. Keywords autobiography was first used deprecatedly by William Taylor in 1797 in English periodical The Monthly Review. When I suggested the word as a hybrid but contentment as a predict it is next record use was in it present say by Robert South in 89 despite only beginning named yearly in the 19th century for person in autobiography the author writers the story of his own life and achievement. Its aim like that of the biography is a successfully presentation of personality with the best example of as time. It suffers for I can never be complete for it must always can come to end before the date of the writer. Dr. Johnson nevertheless autobiography to biography every month's life he said is best writer by himself. So my presentation is over. Thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity of and all students carefully listening my presentation.
Okay. Now next we will go with कोमल. कोमल राठोड आहेत का तुम्ही क्लासमध्ये? आहेत. तुमचं आर के नारायण's माय डेज. कोमल. हॅलो.
Yes, sir.
हा.
Has.
प्लीज स्टार्ट युअर कॅमेरा. तुमचं प्रेझेंटेशन असेपर्यंत तुमचं कॅमेरा ऑन ठेवा. हा, व्हेरी गुड.
Start करू, sir.
हा.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Komal Rathod. Today, I'm going to talk about R.K. Narayan's autobiography, My Days. My Days is the only memoir of R.K. Narayan, one of the 20th century's most important writers in English language. R.K. Narayan shares his life story in beginning in his grandmother's garden in Madras with a ferocious pet peacock. R.K. Narayan's memoirs are actually sorry, sir. Arkinarayan's memoirs are actually perceptive of human condition, often brilliantly funny and always forgiving. Arkinarayan, in his my days, he adolescent, his school days, and his father in Mysore he studied, and his father had his headmaster. Arkinarayan's favorite subject is English, uh, and strangely he failed in it because it is his favorite and it had a problem. Firstly, Arkinarayan introduces the reader to his geology teacher, and then goes about the detailing the happening of his life during those period. Arkinarayan spent his childhood in his grandmother's home at Madras, and where he had a peacock and monkey for company. But Arkinarayan not mentioned his friends and activities of childhood as well. And Arkinarayan worked uh, as a part-time news reporter. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Komal has finished her presentation. Now we will go with next. तेजस घाटोळे. तेजस आहे का?
Yes, sir.
हा, तेजस. You are talking on one of the chapters from waiting for visa. बरोबर आहे?
हो.
हा. So please start your presentation. Camera on ठेवा. हा, start.
Good afternoon, all of you. I will speak the fourth chapter of waiting for visa, polluting the water in the fort of Daulatabad. This chapter related to an incident in 1934, and he showed Ambedkar how Muslim also treated untouchables as lower caste. Ambedkar and a group of his friends had gone to visit Daulatabad fort during a trip to Aurangabad. On arriving at the fort, Ambedkar's group washed themselves with water kept in a tank at the fort entrance. However, after a few minutes, an old Mohammedan started to run after them. He shouting, the heads have polluted our water, and soon there was a commotion, with a large group of Muslims sitting at Ambedkar's group and at the local untouchable community. A riot nearly resulted till Ambedkar asked them whether they would have behaved in the same manner if an untouchable who had converted to Islam had used that water. Ambedkar gave one instant to show that person who is an untouchable to a Hindu is also an untouchable to a Parsi. This will show that a person who is an untouchable to a Hindu is also an untouchable to a Mohammedan. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Tejas has finished his presentation. Now we will go with the next student. Next we can talk about Radha. Are you there?
हाँ sir.
हा, Radha, please start your presentation. तुमचं camera on ठेवा आणि talk on your presentation. Yes, please.
Today I'm talking about second chapter of the waiting for visa. In 1980, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar returned to India after completing their higher education in America from Columbia University in New York. In 1970, he came to London
and joined the post-graduation department of the School of Economics of the University of London. This section describes the deep divides that existed in Baroda during that time, not just between castes but also between religions. In 1980, upon returning to India after 3 years in London and a year in after 3 years in USA and a year in London, Dr. Ambedkar went to Baroda State to work as a probationer in the Accountant General's office. However, upon arriving in Baroda, he realized that none of the Hindu hotels would allow him to stay due to his lower caste. He found a Parsi inn, but there non-Parsi were not allowed to stay. He and the Parsi innkeeper reached a compromise whereby Ambedkar gave his name as a Parsi and was allowed to stay in this inn. This found was discovered by other Parsis, and on the 11th day of stay, a group of angry Parsi men armed with sticks arrived to remove him from the inn. He had to leave the inn that day, and not having a place to stay, was forced to leave Baroda and returning to Bombay to find work elsewhere. Thank you. Sir, झालं.
Very nice. Now we will go with the next student. Next type, Shivani. Shivani, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Shivani. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Are you there?
Ha, sir.
Start. Please
Good
start.
morning. I'm good. Okay. Good morning. I'm Shivani. Today I'm going to talk about pure and impure biography. Any pure biography would give us a perfect picture of development of the both external and inner life of the subject. Unfortunately, several factors may intervene to make it impure. The most common is the desire to honor the dead, to conceal the evil, and perpetuate the memory of good. De mortuis nil nisi bonum is the old Latin proverb which says that the living should speak nothing but good of the dead. In the second factor, impurity of obstructions of the anther, one the must maintain the attitude forgetting the personal achievements. He must have only personal interest such as doctor, his patient, a biography to some theory or aim the sir.
Yes, Shivani.
Hello. झालं रीड केलं.
व्हेरी 1 मिनिट पण झालं नाही. फार कमी करू लागले पहा तुम्ही. मार्क्स कमी मिळतील मग. किमान आपलं 3 मिनिट 4 मिनिट व्हावं असं आपण ठरवलेला आहे नियम. आणि यू आर finishing it very fast. Shivani has finished her presentation. Now do we have Maheshwari? Maheshwari आहेत का?
Yes, sir.
Maheshwari, you are there. Very good. तर Maheshwari, तुमचं हेलन केलर chapter 1. Please start.
Good afternoon, student. My name is Kamre Maheshwari. I am talking about the story of my life of Helen Keller. Helen Keller was born on June 27th, 1880 in Tuscumbia, a little town of northern Alabama. The family on her father's side descended from Caspar Keller, a native of Switzerland, who settled in Maryland. Her father's name was Arthur Helen Keller, who was a captain in the Confederate Army, and her mother was Kate Adams, who was many years younger to her husband as she was his second wife. Helen Keller lived in a small house which consisted of a square room, large square room um, and a small one in which the servant slept. There was a custom uh, south south to build a small house near the homestead as an annex to be uh, to be used on occasion, and such a house was built by her father after the Civil War. After his marriage took place, Helen's mother she shifted to that house. The house was covered with Venus climbing roses and honeysuckles. There was a screen of yellow roses and southern slacks which hid the little porch. It was the favorite haunt of mm, hummingbirds and bees. The family lived in the Keller homestead, also known as Evergreens, because the surrounding trees and fence were covered with ivy. Helen considered the house as the paradise of her childhood. Helen's life began on a simple note. The very naming of the child, that is, Helen was an empathic one. Her father suggested the name of Maryland Campbell, whom he regarded highly, but her mother put an end to all discussion by saying that she could be called after after her mother, Helen Everett. Helen was taken to the church for christening, but on the way, her father lost the name. He just remembered that it had be Helen's grandmother, so he gave her the name Helen's Adams. In her childhood, Helen was an eager and self-asserting child. She imitated every everyone and learned walking as well as talking at an early age. Uh, her but her happiness did not last long. One day, one day uh, uh, in in the month of February, she fell ill. The doctors termed it as an acute congestion of the stomach and brain. They even thought that she would not live. It, it was a mysterious fever which left her suddenly and mysteriously, but it took her eyesight along with it. Uh, with its uh, passing day, um, eyes turned dry and hot and become dimmer, and she felt silence all around. It was a nightmare for her when she realized that she had lost her eyes and ears. The whole holds to her dark and silent. Thank you. Sir, झालं.
Maheshwari has finished her presentation. Now we will go with Bhaskar.
Yes, sir.
भास्कर कॅमेरा ऑन करा तुमचा आणि प्रेझेंटेशन द्या.
Yes, my name is Bhaskar Tapte, and I share to childhood journey to Koregaon becomes
भास्कर
a
तुमचा कॅमेरा
nightmare.
बंद आहे.
Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar family.
कॅमेरा ऑन करा. हा, व्हेरी गुड. हा, स्टार्ट.
Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar family came originally.
भास्कर, हॅलो.
Dr. Ambedkar family came originally from the. Oh, sir.
हा, कॅमेरा
हो,
ऑन
sir.
करा. प्रेझेंटेशन चालू असेपर्यंत तुमचं.
सर ते ऑटोमॅटिक बंद होत आहे सर.
कसं काय? तुमचं कॅमेरा ऑन राहू द्या. तुम्ही चालू करा. बोला
सर.
बोला. आवाज ऐकू येते. बोला फक्त आता.
Ambedkar family came from Dapoli Taluka of the Ratnagiri state from the very commencement of the rule of the East India Company. My forefathers had left their heavy of service in the army of the company. My father also followed the family tradition and served service in the army. He rose to the rank of an officer and was a subedar. When he retired on his retirement, of my father took the family to Dapoli with a view setting down there. But for some reason, my father changed his mind. The first incident which I am recording as well as I can remember occurred about when we were at Satara. My mother was then dead. My father was away on service as a cashier at a place called Koregaon in Khatau Taluka in the Satara. Thank you, sir.
Very nice, Bhaskar. Now we will go with some other student. Bhaskar has finished. Sheikh Sadaf, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Sadaf, please start your presentation.
Hello everyone, my name is Sheikh Sadaf. Today I am presenting M.K. Gandhi's autobiography, the story of my experience with truth. M.K. in this autobiography, it is an introduction of he and his family. He belongs to Bania caste. His grandfather, Uttam Chand Gandhi, he has been prime minister in several Katiwada states. He has been a man of principle. His father Kaba Gandhi and mother Putlibai. He had one sister and 3 brothers. He is the youngest one. He was born 2nd October 1869 in Porbandar. His childhood passed in Porbandar. He is close to her mother. Hello, sir.
Finish, Sadaf. बहुत brief में बताया.
हाँ सर, थोड़ा easy है.
Okay, now we will today almost, let me count, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 students have finished their presentation today. Okay. आणखी काही स्टुडंट्स राहिलेला आहे. त्या दिवशी पैकी मला वाटतं चैतालीचं एक राहिलेला आहे आणि मग बाकी सगळे झाले त्या दिवशी. पण आज काही नवीन स्टुडंट मला दिसत आहेत. आदिती कुलकर्णी, गायत्री कांबळे. तुमचं टॉपिक फायनल झालेलं नाही पहा. मोहिनी गुराळे एक आहे, सारिका करमाळकर. तुमचं टॉपिक सांगा. सारिका, आदिती, सृष्टी एक आहे. सृष्टी त्या दिवशी नव्हती, आज आलेली आहे. संध्या,
येस सर.
हा तुम्ही कुठल्या टॉपिकवर बोलणार आहात? मला टॉपिकचं नाव तुमचं फायनल करा, म्हणजे उद्या तुमचं तयारी करता येईल. आज ज्यांचं प्रेझेंटेशन झालं तेही उद्या प्रेझेंट राहतील. आता माझं झालं, मला प्रेझेंट नाही राहिलं तर चालते असं नाही. तुमच्या इंटरनलचे
ऑटोबायोग्राफी सर.
तुमचा अटेंडन्स काउंट होत असतो, त्याच्यामुळे अटेंडन्सला सगळे लेक्चर्सला प्रेझेंट राहायचं. हा आता हा संध्या, तुमचं कुठल्या टॉपिकवर बोलता तुम्ही?
ऑटोबायोग्राफी सर.
ओके, डिटेलमध्ये घ्या थोडस. सृष्टी, सृष्टी लोमटे, हॅलो.
येस सर.
हा सृष्टी, उद्या तुमचं प्रेझेंटेशन असेल युनिट टेस्ट 2 साठी. कुठल्या टॉपिकवर तुम्ही प्रेझेंटेशन देता?
हेलन केलर.
हेलन केलरचं काय चॅप्टर?
माय स्टोरी ऑफ माय लाईफ.
होय हो, पण त्याच्यात भरपूर चॅप्टर आहेत, समरी आहेत, तेवढं काही तुमचं होणार नाही ना. एक कुठला तर त्यातला चॅप्टर किंवा समरी घ्या, ठीक आहे.
ओके सर.
आदिती, आदिती तुम्ही मंडेला ऍबसेंट होते, तुमचा टॉपिक सांगा.
सर
हा,
मी हेलन किलर घेते, त्यात समरी हे करते.
अच्छा, आदिती विल टॉक ऑन हेलन केलर समरी. बर, कुणाल
कांबळे.
हा
सर ते आदितीनं बोलली नाही.
काय म्हणले? संध्या काय म्हणता, बोला.
ते आदितीनं बोलली नाही सर, दुसरीच कोणीतरी स्टुडंट आहे.
आता आदिती आहे का? आदिती, आर यू देअर?
येस सर.
हा आदिती, तुम्ही कुठल्या टॉपिकवर बोलणार उद्या? हॅलो.
बोलते सर.
हा आदिती, तुमचं माईक ऑन ठेवून सांगा मला कुठल्या टॉपिकवर बोलता उद्या.
तुम्ही जाता सर. बोल.
बायोग्राफी वरती बोलता? हा, आदिती विल टॉक ऑन बायोग्राफी. ठीक आहे. कुणाल?
Sir, waiting for visa, chapter 3.
अच्छा, कुणाल विल टॉक ऑन वेटिंग फॉर विजा चॅप्टर 3. हा, प्रीतम?
Difficulties of the biographer, sir.
अच्छा, प्रीतम विल टॉक ऑन बायोग्राफी टॉपिक घ्या. चालेल.
चालतंय.
नेक्स्ट सारिका करमाळकर. सारिका एक आहे पहा, त्या दिवशी ऍबसेंट होते मंडेला. सारिका, आर यू देअर? मोहिनीचं एक राहिलेलं आहे. मोहिनी, सांगा तुमचा टॉपिक.
वेटिंग फॉर विजा फर्स्ट चॅप्टर.
बर. शेख शादाब, आपका भी रह गया है, बोलो.
Helen Keller, sir, about the author.
हेलन केलर का फर्स्ट चॅप्टर ले लो. ठीक आहे, शादाबचं झालं. आणखी गंगा, गंगा पावडे.
हो सर. ऑटोबायोग्राफी.
ऑटोबायोग्राफी घेतलेला आहे संध्यानं. दुसरं कोणतं घेता? रिपीट होऊ नये पा. गंगा, दुसरं काय घेता? MK गांधी घेता?
सर सेकंड चॅप्टर.
कशाचा?
हेलन केलरचा.
ओके, चॅप्टर 2 ऑफ हेलन केलर. बर. आणखी कोण राहिलेला आहे? प्रीतम, तू दिला का रे? प्रीतमचा आहे, बायोग्राफी आहे. सारिका एक राहिली आहे. सारिका क्लास जॉईन झाले होते, पण अनफॉर्च्युनेटली अगेन सारिका हॅज लेफ्ट. सारिका, हा गायत्रीचं एक राहिलंय. गायत्री, आय फॉरगॉट युअर नेम. हा गायत्री, तुमचं सांगा कोणता टॉपिक येता?
सर हेलन केलरचं चॅप्टर 3.
चॅप्टर 3 ऑफ हेलन केलर. बर, आणखी कोण